I was repeating and I was remaining happy. And one of the sayings of Upasani Maharaj, rules of Upasani Maharaj was that one should not read newspapers. Now in that newspapers, why you should not read is because it creates extra sanskars, which creates more binding. So ever since I went to Pune, I stopped reading papers. Till then I was reading it. So one of my friend who was not not believing in anything, and I was talking to him about Upasani Baba and Sai Baba and all that. So he started calling me Eruch Baba. And one day when I was studying in Pune, it came in papers that Avatar Meher Baba will give darshan. You follow what I mean, darshan, at Pune station. So I thought of going to Pune station, because that boy who never believed in God, he helped me. He brought that paper to me and said, your Baba has come, you better go and see him. So I went to see him. When I went there, the first time when I went there, I saw a lot of people coming there. Some people were crying, some people were happy. Different caste, creed, color, all were there. But I was not knowing what I am going to see. I went there, and after about 15-20 minutes, Baba came in a good posh car and all that. And he straight away came and sat on a bench at Pune station. There were about 300 to 400 people. Baba started, everybody, people who were crying and all that, they started bowing down and kissing and hugging. All those things started. Well, when it started that way, I was all the time thinking about Upasani Maharaj Ashram, where people don't do such things, where people just bow down on the leg or remain away from it. So when I saw these things, I thought what I heard in my hometown about Baba is absolutely correct. Oh God, then what should I tell you? Then I said, okay, it is better that I remain little away from him. So I was standing little away. Now these were about 200-300 people who were taking darshan of Baba. That finished in about 10, 15, 20 minutes time. As it finished, everybody settled down. So Baba waved at me. Because you see, when I say Baba told, I mean that he signed or gestured. So he was doing some gestures and he called me. So I did also gesture. I said, no, I don't want to come. So then, of course, there was a crowd and all that, so they pushed me and I went near Baba. I was very near on the right hand side of Baba when Baba asked me the first question. When I say ask me again, I mean gesture. He asked, first question he asked, do you believe in God? So I said yes. Then he said, do you believe in anybody else? I said, in Zoroaster. Then second time I said, Upasani Maharaj. When I said Upasani Maharaj, he did it like this. He said, I and he are one. That's what he meant. So I told him, maybe. The second time, then I was thinking what he said about what you see is not me. But I couldn't understand that and I forgot about it. And the next year I changed my college and I went to my hometown. Now in my hometown, I had a center which is called as Sai Meher Center. So I joined that and I was going there regularly, where you see they read sometimes about Sai Baba, sometimes they read about Upasani Baba. I don't have to explain who's Sai Baba, you know. And then it came to Meher Baba also. So whether I liked it or not, I was listening about him. So then it so happened that in 1954-55 he called us, and there was a condition that one should be 21 years of age, and only men were allowed. So of course my name was minus because I was not 20 years old. I was not 21 years old at that time. So it remained out of the roster. but there was a person who was selected by name Mr. Vesuna. He went away. When he went away that way, because his wife was sick, and he sent a telegram to Baba that I will not be able to come, and Baba told him to stay back. So then the Navsari center sent my name that he went away that way, because his wife was sick, and he sent a telegram to Baba that I will not be able to come, and Baba told him to stay back. So then the Navsari center sent my name that I am only 20 years old, if you can take me, if I can come there. So Baba sent a telegram saying that bring him positively, repeat positively. So well, though I was not very much after that, but yet I found that I was a student. I said it is good, I will have a little bit of holiday because I am going to get free boarding lodging plus staying and enjoying at some other new place. So I never mind. But then I thought, why not I ask Godavari Mataji before I go there, because I have accepted her as my guru. So about 3 days before, I went to Godavari Mataji's place and I asked her. She said, why don't you go? You must go because I am also coming there. So I became happy and I went to Nagar. Well, we reached as early as about 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I don't forget it. I have started forgetting the timings and the days, but I know it. About 9 o'clock or so. We were taken to Meherabad, where Baba's hill is there, but the lower Meherabad. And from there, he said, we stayed there. He had shown some board where it is written that forget that nobody is here except you and me. Forget about your wife, children, husband, mother, father, everybody, business, we two are only there and nobody else. So this was all those rules and regulation I read, but my mind was running at a different angle. I was thinking that Baba is doing all this hypnotism and all that. And I had read a book which said that if you sit near a person about 12 feet to 16 feet in diameter, away from that, then he has no effect or a less effect on you. So when Baba was sitting here, I was sitting approximately on that side, about little away. And I started repeating that Guru mantra which I was given to me, so that he cannot affect me, his black magic or hypnotism or whatever he was doing. So I was there and reading, I was doing that, and we did some prayer from all religions, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Parsi. He read, different people were reading one paragraph, and then we started our day. When we started our day, in that probably you must have read those books which describe this stay, when we stayed 7 days with him. So in that one day, in that he was explaining things. So I started getting interest in that lecture. So I used to stop saying my mantra from inside. So he would point at me and he would do it like this. Meaning, you repeat your mantra. So at this I did it once, twice, thrice, and I forgot for about 5-6 times. And every time I forget, he will look at me and he will do it like this. Now I don't think out of these 150 people, anybody would have understood what actually it meant for. This I did it once, twice, thrice, and I forgot for about 5-6 times. And every time I forget, he will look at me and he will do it like this. Now I don't think out of these 150 people, anybody would have understood what actually it meant for. So then, by that time the lunch time came. When the lunch time came, Baba said, I am going in that room. Nobody should come there except whom I call. And you should be on this side and all that. So I said maybe, because I was told by my people in Navsari that he speaks, but in public he keeps quiet. So I said, let me test that also. So when he went for his lunch there, though I was told, of course I am supposed to obey the rules, but I was most ungrateful person. So I said, let me go and check him whether he is keeping quiet or not. So when I went there, I saw Baba doing the same gestures to Adi, Eruch or whosoever is there. He was giving some instructions to them. And he was doing only what he was doing in public. So that got my doubt over. That I don't think that what people are saying is absolutely wrong. He is keeping silence. Then finally it so became that I just went out from there. I also looked from a window which I was not supposed to see. I saw Baba eating food and I saw him talking with gestures and absolutely in silence, of course. Then of course I went back and I was listening other talks afternoon and all that. We had our lunch and all that. We finished all that. Now by the time we finished that, he said once or twice the same thing about repeat the mantra. So I did that and I forgot about it. We had a nice lunch, we had a nice dinner, everybody enjoyed. We played sometimes we played that 7 tiles, sometimes we played games, and everywhere we were happy. But in my mind I was only thinking that way. Now we slept, and as usual I got up early, which I used to do it. I told you I used to pray for 5 times and all that. So I got up early. Of course now I don't do it. But those days I got up and I took my bath and all that, and I went to another room where Baba's big portrait is kept on the left hand side of the main hall. I went there and I started praying as usual. Praying means I was doing my japa. That mantra I was repeating. While I was repeating, something great happened. And that was that when I was in that room looking and concentrating on my mantras, I saw Lord Zoroaster saying to me that he is me, I am the same one, which I had never seen in my lifetime. So I opened my eyes, I started looking at it whether is it correct or I am just dreaming. So I saw myself wide awake. And he repeated, I am the same. I say something great, it was really great, because that was the only thing, I should say, turning point for me. Till today you have seen that I was anti or against him. What actually happened was that when I was doing my japa or that mantra, I saw Lord Zoroaster, whom I was always believing in him as my Pagambar, or I should say prophet. So I saw him saying that, pointing at Meher Baba's big portrait, life-size portrait, saying that he is the same one, I am the same one. When I heard that, I got shocked and I opened my eyes and I saw whether I was dreaming or I was really seeing. So I really saw him and I saw him repeating the same thing. I got little bit afraid and I came out from the room. When I came out from the room, I was very much confused. I never knew what is right, what is wrong. So I said, I just came out from that room, remained outside, and I was quiet, thinking about it. When I was thinking it became, by that time we had some breakfast, tea and all that, and Baba came at about 8 o'clock or so, as usual. When he came at 8 o'clock at Meherabad, as usual, we started our prayers, all Zoroastrian, Christian, Mohammedan and all that, Hindu, Muslim, all one paragraph from each prayers. Of course I don't remember all those prayers, but it was that. And after that, the first thing Baba said, I am the same ancient one. And then the second thing he said was, I am the same Zoroaster. When he said, I am the same Zoroaster, listening me properly. The thing is that when he came next day, what I was trying to tell you is that what I saw he was telling me, and that means it's like this, that after finishing the prayers, the first thing he told that I am the same ancient one. Told means gesture. The second thing he said, I am the same Zoroaster, and that's what I have seen. So when this thing came from his own mouth also again, oh God, I started crying. And I was crying and crying. So Baba looked at me because he knew what it was meant for. When he looked at me, he said, not to cry. So I started crying more and more. As I started crying more and more, he called me, he embraced me, and he said, haven't you read this board? Not to worry about it. So I only knew what I was worried about, because the whole day I was doing something else. I was not believing in him. One day what I have wasted 3 years in reality. So when I came across him, I said, I will never forget this, how worst person I was, and how he has turned me gradually, otherwise I would have been more and more bad. Now then onwards I started believing in him. First thing he did on those days, he was taking sometimes juice, or sometimes he was taking that coconut water. So he will sip 1 or 2 sips and he will give it to me. Of course he was giving it to some other people also, because he was not working only with me. He was all the time with all the 150 people at a time. But I was seeing from my own angle. I wasted 3 years in reality. So when I came across him, I said, I will never forget this, how worst person I was, and how he has turned me gradually, otherwise I would have been more and more bad. Now then onwards I started believing in him. First thing he did on those days, he was taking sometimes juice, or sometimes he was taking that coconut water. So he will sip 1 or 2 sips and he will give it to me. Of course he was giving it to some other people also, because he was not working only with me. He was all the time with all the 150 people at a time. But I was seeing from my own angle that he was attending to me maximum. And that is how he completely turned me. And then throughout the day, he loved me so much. And top of it, he was giving lecture on this obedience, love, surrender. Of course, I don't remember it completely, all those lectures. But I know how to love him. That's all I know now. So that is all it continued for 7 days. And then, of course, I was absolutely changed person. Till today, I am same. And that is why I am here. Now I have come here to see how you all love. And that's it. Now you want me to say something about something else? You see, then on number of occasions on those 7 days, I remained with Baba. Then of course, instead of sitting 16 feet away, I was 16 inch away only. And I was very close to him. And of course, he will always look at me. I forgot the jap once for all. And I started repeating his name. And that is what I am doing till today. I accept him as Khuda. Khuda means God. Khuda Meher Baba. That's all I feel now. And nothing else. So today, of course, I believe him as Avatar Meher Baba. And I hope you all will also come to that understanding one day. Or maybe you are all having it. And the real meaning of Avatar, of course, only 5 perfect master knows. That's what he told me once. He says, you all know me, but none of you know me. Because you cannot love me, or you don't know what I am. Because he said he's at the same time highest of the high and the lowest of the low. I can understand him lowest of the low. I cannot understand him highest of the high. Because he came down to our level and he talked with us, moved with us, played with us, joked with us. And at the same time, he gave us these instructions, how to obey, how to love, how to surrender and all that. You know all that, I think. You have read about it. Now, on one of those 4 or 5 days, one day he took us to the hill where today his body is kept. So when we were taken there, I was walking with him. Today his body is kept. So when we were taken there, I was walking with him. Of course, by that time I had read Bible. Previously I used to hate all the religions except my own religion. I never liked Christian religion, I never liked Hindu religion, I never liked Muslim religion, all. Of course, today I have read all and I love all because they are all one. So, I had read by that time, and in Bible I read somewhere, I don't know, you must have read, that during Jesus Christ's time, there was donkeys. And those donkeys who have got the cross on their neck, they are supposed to be Jesus Christ donkeys. And those who do not, they were known as Antichrist. So when we were going, some of you must have come there. We crossed that railway track and we just crossed beyond. So I saw the donkey and I asked Baba, is it the same donkey when you were Christ? So he just petted me here. And then he said, you are very fortunate that you are walking with me today. Then he asked me some questions. On that question, he asked me, you know how many people are going to Sai Baba today? I said, he did that sign of Sai Baba. You know, that he was doing all the time gestures. When I say, he said. So, he did that and I said, there are a number of people believing. Today, if you come to Bombay, practically every alternate house has a Sai Baba's photo. And they really believe today because they have found that, but they don't know, think that everybody must be knowing it, what is perfect master. Unless that was the only thing I can tell, that out of these avatars who came as from Zoroaster, Ram, Krishna, Christ, Muhammad, Buddha and all that, nobody said that Sadguru and all that. Very few people understood what is Sadguru and all that. But the real Sadguru, I think Baba has explained it very, very clearly what is Sadguru and all that. So he asked me about that. So I said there are a number of people going. And then he asked me, you know how much money Sai Baba Center is, Shirdi, that is where Sai Baba's tomb is, or where Sai Baba is kept, bodies is kept. So I said that time I knew, to my knowledge, because I read about few days back, it was 45,000. You will again ask how I read the paper. Because again I started believing in Baba, so I started doing everything normal. Baba wants us. This is one of the most important things. Of course, this was not in 54, but I gradually came to know. He wants us to be most practical in life. And yet, do not get attached to the life. Remain in the life, it's like a lotus. Remain in water, but above the water. That's what he wants, that we should be very much practical in life. And yet, we should be away from it. We should not be attached to the worldly things. That's all he taught us. And then, he, while taking us up, he was further asking some questions, and that he asked me how many rupees, what amount he is having. So I said 45 lakhs. You know what is the meaning of 45 lakhs? 45 into 100,000. So much rupees are there. He said, when Sai Baba was in physical form like what I am today, he was begging from house to house and he was eating. He said, what's the use? When he is not in physical form, there's so much of money and so much of things. He says, you are very fortunate that today I am in physical form. And though I am in physical form, only few people are here. He asked me how many people are with us. I said about 150. And 2 or 3 old people are there, they are not coming up. He said, you are very fortunate. Tomorrow, that means he meant at the time when I will drop the body and when I will be kept in the tomb, number of people will come. That's what I am seeing it today. And I first saw when I saw him lying in the tomb, the first thing I remember was, then he, while taking us up, he was further asking some questions, and that he asked me how many rupees, what amount he is having. So I said 45 lakhs. You know what is the meaning of 45 lakhs? 45 into 100,000. So much rupees are there. He said, when Sai Baba was in physical form like what I am today, he was begging from house to house and he was eating. He said, what's the use? When he is not in physical form, there's so much of money and so much of things. He says, you are very fortunate that today I am in physical form. And though I am in physical form, only few people are here. He asked me how many people are with us. I said about 150. And 2 or 3 old people are there, they are not coming up. He said, you are very fortunate. Tomorrow, that means he meant at the time when I will drop the body and when I will be kept in the tomb, number of people will come. That's what I am seeing it today. And I first saw when I saw him lying in the tomb, the first thing I remember was this, that what he said was really correct. Hundreds of people came. I never saw so many people coming towards tomb like that. Like that, thousands of people came other day. And finally, I saw that what he said to me in 1954-55 has come true in 69 onwards. And today I am seeing. You see, my trip here is to visit all Baba centers all over the world. You know, unfortunately, I don't know. With Baba's grace and with his own sayings, I have taken this job. I was doing the same job, but in other firm. That is why I get free ticket and I can come to you. But I have come here to see how people love Baba, of different caste, creed, color, and the nationality and the religion. So I went to Tehran, Shiraz, London, and I have come here. Of course, I came last year here also. But that's what I have seen, what he said, that after I drop my body, people will come. And whatever he has said, in fact, whatever he has told to the rest of the people, you see, I have met him not only in this years, but I have met him practically every year or twice a year also sometimes, depending upon, sometimes in Bombay, sometimes in Navsari, sometimes in Nagar, sometimes in Pune center, everywhere I have met, or at Guru Prasad. I don't know how many times I have met, but I can tell you one thing, that I have met him number of times. In my meeting with him, every time he said something or the other, has never come false. Even I think you people were also there, some of you, on 1962 East-West gathering. I was there day and night. And something I have found with Baba, that I was supposed to be in Calcutta, far away from Bombay. It's about 1200 miles. So I couldn't come in contact with Eruch, Adi, so that I could be very close to them. But yet he was always wanting me to be with him. Of course, same thing I was also very much in need. But the rules I was trying to maintain. So East-West gathering, it happened, a very funny thing happened. I think I was also very much in need. But the rules I was trying to maintain. So East-West gathering, it happened, a very funny thing happened. I left Calcutta a little earlier than the days we were called in Pune. And a circular was sent to me saying that no Easterners will meet Westerners unless I tell them. But that particular circular, I never got it. As such, I went to Pune and I was there for about 3 days early. When I saw some Australian lady by name, I forget, Gladys and Gladys. Now these two ladies they had come by steamship. So they had landed in Pune early and they were taking a round from Pune hotel to Bun Garden. And of course, Bedul Kaka, probably you must have known, he is one of our close Mandali person. He just recently died, about a year or so. And he was supposed to be a gatekeeper. He saw me passing with that lady to Bun Garden. So he informed Baba inside. That person, he probably knew my name or I don't know, but he informed that that is Eruch Karadia, has gone with those foreigners on a walkie up to that Bun Garden. When I went near that Bun Garden, I never knew about all this, what is happening inside here at Guru Prasad. While I was coming back, he had given instructions, that is Baba had given instructions to Bedul, that send that Australian ladies back, but call Eruch inside. So I was called inside, that's how I met Baba 3 days early. That way every time I have met, I have forgotten, I will tell you in between also how I met in Bombay and Pune. You will also laugh. There also. So I went there and Baba asked me, have you read circular? So I said yes, because I had read one circular. I never knew what circular he meant. Don't you know that you are not supposed to see Westerners? I said, Baba, I never got that circular. Then he called Adi and asked, and I read the circular. Then he said, from today onwards, you be with Dr. Bharucha, like this, always. Be with Dr. Bharucha and come morning and evening. Otherwise, I would have come only evening. So I got double chance. So I became very happy on the contrary. And Well, I said this was a unique opportunity I got, and I became volunteer for once and for all, and I got it a more chance to stay because Westerner could stay and go to Merazad and all that. So that's where I got more advantage with you. Because of you I got. So that is why I come here so that I can get still more some advantage. Now that one was over, and that's how I stayed day and night. Of course then he called us little early also.